Hey, Shalom Markins, Rakam Makapash from Jim Islam, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Chachwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole that's pushing his truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video, and this one's inspired just something I was noticing recently on the TV and the advertisements, and on the underground and the trains and stuff, right? This whole climate change, is kind of being pushed heavily recently, right? And it's kind of funny that at the same time you've had a whole bunch of weather disasters go on in different parts. We've got a heat wave here in Europe, which they be calling Cerberus, the demon dog, the demon hound of hell, right? You got a whole bunch of things going on in the news recently. Let's see if I can come up with some of them, right? So you got the heat wave in Europe, temperatures near record and mean extreme weather. Extreme heat in Tokyo, 150-year trend. It was broken. Got typhoons in China. What else we got here going on? South Korea floods, right? Deaths cast out on work to prepare for extreme weather, right? So things have been happening recently in the planet, and it's funny enough it kind of coincide with Esau's climate change campaign that he's been pushing, which I noticed on the TV. They got this advertising going on right now, and this is from Eon, which is an energy provider, right? I think it's French in origin. I think here in the UK, right? But I want to play this. I'm gonna play this and just go into it a little bit. All right. Is on my side. Right, so the thing starts off with this song. The time is on my side, right? And all the while they're singing this song, shit's falling apart around them. Which is really showing you time ain't on your side. Okay, this is what they're kind of pushing, man. Things need to be done now, and it's ironic because Esau don't have no time either. Esau running out of time, right? So it's in irony. This if you get irony, this is in irony because you don't have time. They're saying you're running out of time. Okay, it's good to say Esau running out of time though. So he's pushing this, right? Revelation 12:12 says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time." All right, so he put in his emphasis on you're running out of time. Okay, time ain't on your side. You're running out of time because he's running out of time. Right, he's trying to get you to conform to these governments and what they're proposing the people need to do to combat climate change, which means a lot of sacrifice on your behalf, right? Because these elites ain't sacrificing nothing, right? You're gonna sacrifice everything, right? You're gonna give up all your luxuries and your standards of living and all that kind of stuff in order to combat climate change. While these men build their Elysium, right?
And believe me, time is on my side. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I said time is on my side. I said time is on my side. It's time to act on the climate crisis today, not one day. And Eon have the solutions to help us all live more sustainably.
Right, so they're putting them fear tactics out there to get you people on board with the agenda, right? Because it all fits in with with the WEF and you will own nothing thing, and you will be happy. It all links in with that, and they don't want you to have nothing, so they want you to give up everything, essentially, give up your freedoms, your privacy, and everything, man. It's all interconnected, man, and it's Esau's using this as a scare tactic to get you people more compliant, because everybody would. if this was an issue, everybody would agree that this issue needs to be resolved at some point, right? But they're saying you're running out of time, so everybody on a global scale would be in unison in wanting to combat these things, if they were true, right? If it is indeed happening like that as they say it is. But the thing is, it's a double thing that Esau's doing. These elites are doing, because at one handle, on one side of things, Esau's pushing. People need to do something about it. You need to give up your freedoms and whatever, right? At the same time, masking the fact that this is already the Most High's doing. This is the Most High bringing judgment upon the earth, right? He's disguising that as climate change. He's got you thinking about climate change. He ain't got you thinking about, end time prophecies and the end of his world, and the judgments the Most High is bringing upon the world. He ain't having you think about that. He's got you focused on something else, right? So it works. It works in dual aspects for Esau in how he's using this propaganda, right? Because I said at the end of the day, he's really admitting that he's lacking time and he needs to consolidate his power now. So he's gonna come forth and bring more hardcore totalitarian, policies against the people, right? He's setting up the excuse of draconianism. Why he needs to do this, because you people ain't doing anything. You people ain't doing anything. You ain't doing enough. We have to take more away from you. No more cars, no more planes, no more. And we've gone through this in other articles, man. What their plan is on the road to like 2030 or whatever it is, 2040. And things they're gonna take out of society, man. How they don't want no one using cars no more, or electric vehicles only. But even that's a strain on the planet. So it's all these things they're looking to take away from the people, and only the elite are gonna have it, because there's such a small number of people on the earth, and then their carbon footprint is negligible. So, but you, the masses of people, have to give up everything, right? So, yeah, I've just seen a lot of this, propaganda being pushed out recently, and I thought, I'd just do a video on it, Revelations 13:11 says this: I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Right, so you got these governments, you got the two sides, red and blue, Democrat, Republican, Labour and Tory, Conservatives, right? And they make it sound like they're arguing, they're making these arguments for the best of the people, right? But they both have the same agenda, or both have the same agenda ultimately, right? And that's to bring in harsh regulations, right? That's what that draconianism is about. Right, and so Esau's using his climate change to set the pretext of him being draconian, because he's trying to save the planet, and you're being a burden. He needs to save the planet, and that's a noble cause, right? That's on the surface of things, that's a noble cause, and that means he's doing this in righteousness, right? So he's just what he's doing, but it's not just what he's doing, man, because it's a lie. What he's doing, why he's doing it for, is a complete lie. All right, so he's doing this in wickedness. This is all wickedness that he's doing this. All right, and just to no, that's not what I need. What do I need? Because you'll see here, I was typing climate change in the Google here and put it on news section, right? And it's talking about the heat waves and stuff like that. It's a longer heat waves driven by turbocharged climate change, right? Things have been speeding up. You're exponentially running out of time. It's not even just the fact that, time is, there's a certain set date, and, we're getting closer to that date. We need to get sorted before then. No, it's getting closer to you. It's actually speeding up. It's sooner than we thought, right? Because things are so bad, right? But, other things we're going into, like CO2, the planet needs CO2. You can't get rid of CO2, man. Shit won't function right. Things will start dying and stuff, right? The plant life and whatever. What else we got? He got climate change plan will leave. Okay, so what they're making it sound like is that they're well behind on any kind of preparation to combat climate change. They're not. No one's doing enough for it, right? But again, that gives Esau the excuse to clamp down hard on the jaws, man. You got to knuckle down on the people to get things corrected ASAP, right? Because there's not enough being done right now. right? Lacks ambition. Government plan to prepare UK for climate change criticised. It's all failing, right? Because they can't prepare for it. What the fuck are they gonna do? Because this is the judgments of the Heavenly Father. There's nothing they're gonna do that can overturn that. They're gonna come. No matter what they do, the heat's still gonna turn out. The waters are still gonna rise up. The wind is still gonna blow. So there's nothing that can really be done because it's not really to do with climate change. It's to do with the judgments of the Heavenly Father, right? So that's a losing battle. That's retarded, right? But it gives them the excuse to clamp down hard on trying to speed things up. Because like I read in Revelation 12:12, they're running out of time. So he's going to come with great wrath. Right? He speaks as a dragon. He's going to come with great wrath. And, behind this excuse, why he needs to take everything away from you. That's what the WF is running on, man. So again, Revelation 12:12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because if you have but a short time. Okay, he don't have no time. Right? He literally don't have any time left. Right? It's Proverbs 29 verse 2, right? Because eventually when Esau does clamp down and he brings all these policies and, it starts affecting everybody, right? The people are not going to be happy about it, man. People are going to be, disgruntled, upset, in pain, because people are finding it, difficult to live now. But Esau's going to come with a bunch of, plans like the universal basic income and, because a lot of companies are going to go under, more companies, people are going to lose their jobs, people are going to, drive to work, can't afford to drive to work because shit being made is super expensive now. Because that's what they're going to do. As much as they say, oh, we're not going to get rid of this and that, they'll just outprice you and you can't afford to have those things anymore. They'll just make, fuel like super expensive or whatever. The tax crazy mad on cars, and you just can't afford to run that shit no more. So you have to get rid of them. Most of you people are going to be on fucking foot or on bicycle. Yeah, because not everybody can own an electric vehicle. That's stupid. That's unsustainable, man. All right, they just ain't, that lithium just ain't like that, man. You know how many people are dying to mine lithium? And how much pittance, how much pittance they're getting paid to do it. It's just not a sustainable, thing. So it's not like everyone's just going to change over to EVs. That's stupid. Right? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Basically, all it is that Esau's looking to take more from you, man, so you have nothing. So he's got you enslaved and dependent. Okay, and this climate change is just one of those distractions or one of those excuses that he gonna, do that. Like he's doing it righteously because he's trying to save the world. He ain't trying to save shit other than his own ass. All right, but anyway, Proverbs 29 verse 2, so when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. And you're going to see the debts of the wicked. Right, you people are going to be in a sorry state, for real. More so than you are even now. All right. Psalms 55 verse 21 says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, right? I'm trying to save the world. Okay, we need to do something about this now. Do it now. Like he needs to, he's urging the people to do something. Even though it's the corporations that kind of bring all this pollution that, he's talking about into the world. Give us all these products that we use and we don't need, because we're just consumers at the end of the day. We use what we're given. We use what's in the store. Whatever's there to be bought is what we purchase, right? But it's Esau's corporation that's given us these things to use to fuck up the planet with. So that's on him. But you're gonna pay the brunt for it. You're gonna pay for it essentially, man, because he ain't gonna pay for shit. It's easy for him, like, you can diversify this, and well, you can't do that. You ain't got access to it. Oh yeah, just get an electric vehicle. Yeah, but like 30 fucking grand, 35 grand. Oh yeah, get on finance. Man, I'm already in debt. You know what I mean? I'm already in debt. Like, what the fuck do I want to take out another finance on a fucking expensive car for? Mans are in debt. That's why I roll around in cheap bangers. That's what these people's mentalities are like. Why would they buy an electric vehicle when they can't even fucking just charge it when they want to charge it? You know what I mean? They can't just go when they want to go. And And this is why they're gonna push you out of that market, push you out of Carver. You'll be using the public transport, bicycle, them cycle highways, or whatever the fuck was going on with. Was it Boris Johnson had that plan, right, to implement? And other places have that too. But that's what it is, right? So anyway, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. He's warring the people, man. Right? So he told you all the nice, I'm doing this for your good and your benefit and all this sort of stuff, but he's doing it for himself, and it's to destroy the people, right? To have them, to make them weak. Like I said, to make them dependent on them, right? But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. All right? So it's all a facade. Okay? And I'll get this portion out of Genesis, right? Speaking of the famine, the 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine, right? It's this, this event, this catastrophe or whatever that's taking place, that's causing the people to act in a certain way. We still got this whole climate change thing going on. He's making people act in a certain way, or making them believe that they should be acting in a certain way, right? And he's getting out of that situation. He's taken out of that situation, and you're having to give up things, right? So I'm read this just to make them sort of comparisons there, right? So Genesis 47 verse 13 said, "And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore." And the famine is something that for real is going to come. All right, which is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back in the end. For many people, they're going to accept the MOTB. But just even to get the people in the position, they're having to give up things now, accepting that their way of life is no longer the same as it was a decade ago. Things are overpriced. That you probably can't buy a house now. People have to come to the acceptance of these ideas that this is how life is now. Like, you have to give up a lot of stuff just to be here now and just accept it. But they're asking more of you, man. They're asking more and more and more until the WF get their way. All right. So anyway, there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, it's lucky. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth." And Joseph said, "Give your cattle, and I will give for you your cattle if money fail." Right? And so basically, like I said, Pharaoh was getting more and more things because of the situation at hand. It was affecting the people, right? Making them make certain decisions. Now, Esau's going to make these decisions for you if you ain't going to do it, right? Because like I said, everything is fading. All this climate change, climate battling thing is not working, right? But like I said, it gives them the excuse to clamp down hard and force issues, force you to do things, force you to give up stuff. Right, because he's the one champion. He's the one champion it, right? So he's in the power to do so. He can force you to do things, change policies. He can put up the taxes on things and whatever. He could do that, which means you have to, you end up giving it up. And you got those that that believe the whole situation at hand and want to do something about it. So they're happy to give up things. And they brought their cattle, in verse 17, and they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for their cattle all that year. All right, and I could read on, but that was basically the point, the idea, the premise of what I was just speaking on, right? But obviously, when the MOTB comes, people are actually going to be physically lacking for food, man, and this is what's going to break them. The fact that they can't have access to food. And so they're going to give themselves up, make themselves slaves, okay, to the NWO, right? By taking that CHIP, so that they can eat, But like I said, Esau using this climate change, man, to put himself in position, man, to, you know, further enslave the people, man, bit by bit. I don't want to go here. All right. So I'm going to close up on this. Is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Right? He ain't righteous. Whatever he's doing is not for a righteous cause. Okay, he's entirely selfish. Okay, and unrighteous and wicked. Right? It says, but the just shall live by his faith. He said, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Right? Esau out here all over the earth, man, doing some madness. Right? He got control over the earth. Okay, he everywhere in the earth. His military is everywhere in the earth. Right? He doesn't stay at home. Okay, which is the land of Edom, which you ain't likely to see him there. Unless you're on vacation, trying to look at Mount Petra and whatever. Right? But he everywhere else. He in everybody else's land. Running it. Either overtly or covertly, he running it. So neither keepeth at home who enlargeth his desire as hell. Right? He's insatiable. And I say he'll come up with whatever scheme he can to obtain his goals, man. And like I said, the WF made it very clear that you will own nothing and be happy. Right? But that part on be happy makes it sound like you're going to be happy with the changes. No, you're being told you're being told you're going to be happy because it's tough, like it or lump it type thing. You're going to be happy with it, and what? Because they plan to strip you of everything, man. All right. And it says death, right, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heateth unto him all people. Right, it's a global thing that he's doing. That's why it's a global climate change. The whole world's got to do it. These pandemics, a global thing that everyone's got to do what they say, what these organizations say. These CBDCs are global thing. Everybody's working on them. Everybody's going to be hooked up to this new system. Esau's making his moves, man. All right. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taught in proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. None of this stuff belongs to you. But you're declaring that you're going to be, the ruler over it all. That you're going to take everything from everybody else and have it for yourself. So how long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which is debt? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, right? So, you're out here trying to, increase your grip on the world, your iron grip on the world, right? By stripping everybody of everything, ownership of all things. But eventually you're going to lose everything, man. So woe to him that converteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. Because that's all Esau's concerned about. He's not concerned about the people. Okay, the elites just want all the wealth for themselves, man, to set their nest on high. They don't care that you're going to be suffering. Because they ain't suffering. They got no empathy. They don't give a shit. Like I said, they're building their Elysium, man, and you're just going to live on fucking in Outworld, in a fucked up condition. Begging for bread. So that he may be delivered from the power of evil. So evil don't come to you. You want to sit your nest on high so things don't happen to you, man. The bad things don't happen. Because evil just means a bad time. Because you're trying to establish yourself an everlasting kingdom, man. But at the people's expenses, man. You don't care what condition that they're in. So thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. And that's what it is, man. He's established all these nations and these cities by blood and by iniquity, and he continues to do iniquity. Right? These places can't be forever in his hands. Okay, the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment, right? So there's going to come a point in time where like I said, he has a short time, right? He's going to come out of his power. Most High is going to take him out of his power. Esau believes what he's doing is going to gain him an everlasting kingdom, an ultimate power, ultimate control over all things. Okay, but he's mistaken, man. It's just a delusion. He's in a delusion, right? Because the Most High gonna fuck up his plans, okay, and bring him down to the sides of the pit. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, Lord, when it's edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So till next time, I say Shalom.